Welcome back to my corner of the internet, guys. I am the Lucid Dream, and we are going to be taking a look at a frauditor I have not covered yet. This is going to be KULT news as he makes a trip to New Iberia, Louisiana. First and foremost, thank you to all of my channel members and subscribers. Without you, I would not be here, so as always, every day, thank you. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Hey everybody, KULT News back again with another video. Today we are in New Iberia, Louisiana. New Iberia, shockingly, town of only 29,000 people roughly. New Iberia has more crime than New York City. New Iberia has more crime than Chicago. Kind of shocking, if you ask me. Anywho, we're walking down the street, minding our own business, and walking past this Regions Bank here. Go ahead and stop here and see if the good folks at Regions recognize and respect our right to take photos and videos in public and in publicly accessible places, such as this public street here. Couldn't help but notice there's a armored car driver here, and they tend to get their panties in a bunch when people aim a camera at them. So let's have a little fun and see what they do, shall we? I can barely hear you up there.
I said, why are you taking pictures of the bank?
May I come close? I'm not sure where your property line ends. I can't hear you.
Who do you work for?
Oh, I can't tell you that. Yeah, no.
Okay, well, I have to get approval for you to take pictures of the bank.
May I come closer?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure where the property line ended, and I don't want to get on your property if I shouldn't be. Now, what was your question?
Okay, to take pictures of the bank, you have to tell me why you're taking pictures of the bank.
Okay, I gotta ask.
I can't just let anybody take pictures.
But how would you stop somebody from taking pictures of the bank?
I
mean, are you? So let me ask you: Can I take photographs that direction?
you can do. I'll notify my security to see.
Can I take photographs in that direction and that direction? I mean, am I okay to shoot? Am I okay to take pictures that direction?
Yeah.
I'm just not okay to take pictures that direction. That's silly.
Well, I mean, it's the bank, and if you.
No, that's not what's silly. What's silly is a grown-ass man standing outside of a bank with a camera for no other reason than to provoke a reaction. Because that's all this is. Again, nothing to do with the First Amendment and everything to do with provoking a reaction for a YouTube channel.
And if you're taking pictures, I kind of need to know for security purposes.
You need to know what?
Like, why are you taking pictures of the bank?
Yeah, I can't tell you that. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to call my security office.
Understandable. Sure. Yeah. I can't imagine they're going to do anything. I mean, they can't stop me from taking photos from essentially public property down here is public property. So
right, but for security purpose, we are a bank.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have to be alert to what's going on.
Marijuana dispensary down the street has a lot more cash on hand than you guys do.
Well, I mean,
My name's Mike. May I ask your first name?
my name's Lori.
Lori? Yeah, Lori,
So, who do you work for?
I can't tell you that. I'm working on a job right now, and I was told specifically I've got a very, very short list of people I can talk to. Like 3 names on the list. There's definitely not a Lori on the list, but I've got 3 names on the list, and I was told if any of these 3 people talk to you, you can talk to them and tell them who you're with and all that. But if it's not one of those 3, well, I canebody's tell you the names, otherwise somebody's come out and say, yeah, that's me. So they can take pictures there though. Huh? Yeah, so they take pictures of me, the bank takes pictures of me, but I can't take pictures of the bank.
Taking for security purposes.
Oh yeah. No, I understand. I'm taking this for security purposes. Let's just say that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go call the security.
I understand. You do you, boo. I said you do you, boo. Yeah, the cops can't make me stop either. Now, if the past is any indication, there is a 95% chance that this lovely woman is calling the police will lie or grossly exaggerate. We will do our best to get a copy of the 911 call, but it is highly probable that she will lie or at least grossly exaggerate, because that's what they do. A man standing out taking photos of a bank, that's not...
That's what they do, says the jackass who does absolutely nothing but lie to get attention.
That's not enough to cause alarm for cops, so they have to go with something like he's very aggressive, he's trespassing, he's harassing us. There's 10,000 things they can and do say to try to solicit a faster response time and a more aggressive response time from the police. It's psychotic, but it's true. I would say that 95% stat has stood up over the last 6-7 months. So let's see if she's one of the 5% that's just honest and says, yeah, he's just standing outside taking pictures and video. He's not on our property. Time will tell.
So first off, this asshole is absolutely hysterically hypocritical, considering his lies and his disingenuous nature and his lack of transparency on why he's there. Secondly, he's getting close to defamation when it comes to this poor woman, because he's implying that she's going to file a false police report and lie to get a reaction from the police, when in fact she's given no indication that that's what she was going to do. But it's the narrative that he has to spin. He chose New Iberia, Louisiana for a reason. He chose it for its crime rate, because he knew his behavior would be seen as out of the ordinary and would heighten the suspicion level, upping the chances that he would get confronted by the police. When you've got a city this size and then you factor in a crime rate that per capita is as high as Chicago or New York, you're going to have confrontations with this kind of behavior, because filming an armored car or filming a bank is not something someone normally does. Now, the thing is if he had been honest with her and he had said, you know what, I am filming a YouTube video, this is what I am doing, this is who I am, you know what, I have no ill intentions. If he was actually honest with her, the chances of his confrontation would have gone down. It would have gone down if he had been honest. He doesn't want to be honest. And that lack of transparency is what is going to eventually be these guys' downfall. Because we're going to start to see stricter laws when it comes to civil liberties because of these assholes.
Looks like the cops are here. How's it going? How you doing?
I'm doing good, and you?
No
complaint.
complaint.
Let you know you're being audio and video recorded.
As are you.
Okay, what's going on?
Nothing. What do you mean?
Why are you filming the bank?
I'm a journalist working on a story.
Oh, here we go with this.
Uh-oh.
Well, you can't. You can't be filming the bank, man. That's not a.
What is that? Is that a statute? I mean, is it against the law in New Iberia to?
You actually can't stand here. That's a statute.
This is not public property?
It is, but you can't stand there.
I can't stand here. I can walk back and forth. I mean, I'm just doing a story on the bank. If I can't stand here, gathering content for a story.
Hold on. Do you want to hear me out or not?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Okay, listen. I understand the whole First Amendment thing. I'm a major supporter of all of our constitutional rights. Okay?
Uh-huh.
I'm asking you, it's simple common courtesy. You got to understand, when people film a bank, it makes them nervous.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know if, are you filming to gather intel to try and rob it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's simple common courtesy. If you'd like to do a story on it, speak to the manager. That's simple. Finished thing.
Is it common courtesy or is it a crime? Is what I'm doing a crime?
Dude, we really doing this?
I
We're really doing this.
I think that's a pretty straightforward question, officer. So what's your name, Officer?
Tally.
Tally?
Tally.
May I ask how to spell that?
Talley.
The cop hit the nail right on the head. He knows exactly what this asshole is doing, and he's being very patient and just trying to reason with him. I have a feeling there's not going to be any reasoning with this moron, but he's trying to reason with him.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not out here to break any laws or anything like that. If you're telling me this is a crime to stand here, then I'll walk back and forth, I guess.
And it's not safe to be standing here either.
Is this not a public thoroughfare?
What type of audit company are you with?
Sir,
I'm all the time. You're doing this just to see if an officer is going to violate your rights.
And are you going to violate my rights, sir?
No, I'm trying to ask you to have common courtesy.
And I'm trying to ask you to respect my rights, sir. I'm not breaking the law.
You're standing on a public right-of-way.
Yes, thank you. Public right-of-way. I agree. I'm gathering content for a story. I'm not loitering with no purpose. I'm here for a purpose, to gather some content for a story. That's it.
The bank doesn't want you filming.
The bank doesn't have a choice. It's public property, sir. This is public property.
Here we go with this.
It's public property.
I'm going to hold my comments.
Please do if they're going to violate my rights.
Stop. I'm going to explain this to you, okay?
All right.
You get on the street, you're going to be arrested.
If I stand on the street, I'll be arrested.
If you don't move on
Okay.
the public right-of-way, if you stop and stand, you can be arrested.
Okay. That being said, I'm going to continue walking, officer. Is there anything else you need? I will continue walking. I'll walk back and forth then, because it's not against the law to walk back and forth, is it?
You people need to get a life.
Yeah, well, you need to get a life. You're going to try and violate my rights. Tell me I can't stand here to gather content for a story.
It's a city ordinance.
That I can't stand here.
Yes, you can.
Gotcha. I'll walk back and forth. You have a good day. Go violate somebody else's rights. I'll walk back and forth. No, I want to be able to stand here and gather content for a story. I'll just walk back and forth. Problem solved. There you go. If you want to send your supervisor out here to violate my rights as well, knock yourself out, Chief. I'll just walk back and forth. There. If I walk back and forth, is that okay? You guys have more crime than Chicago and New York, and you're hassling a guy for standing on a public right-of-way. Yeah, it'd be safer there. There you go. Walking back and forth. I won't stop, officer. I won't stop. I'm not stopping. I'm walking back and forth. Can you believe that shit? I can't stand here in the public right-of-way. It's against the law.
Imagine that. You can't loiter in public being an absolute nuisance for no reason. What a shock.
If I'm hollering at him to go violate somebody else's rights, that's disturbing the peace. Boy, that guy wasn't kidding. Spanky, you weren't kidding about the cops in New Iberia. They're chomping at the bit to violate your rights. Am I being detained, sir? I'm not stepping on their property, sir. Am I okay to step up there? All right. It's very disappointing. I'm out here taking some pictures and video of this place, trying to get a time lapse.
So here's the thing. Okay.
I don't have any weapons on me, by the way. Just
I understand that part of what you say you're doing. How about prior to you doing that, you actually go speak with them in the bank and let them know? Okay? Because here's my thing. If I see somebody taking pictures of a bank, okay, in my mind I'm thinking, well, why? And is he going to rob the place and getting plans to rob the place? Okay, that's my thought process.
Sure.
Okay, it's a bank. Why not go speak with them and let them know what you're doing? Okay, so from there, at least they're aware of it, and then you can go from there.
Sir, may I ask your name? It's Lieutenant Ellis. Lieutenant Ellis, is it against the law for me to stand down here on the edge of the grass and get some pictures and video of this building? Is that against the law for me to stand right there for 10 minutes and get pictures and video of that building? You're a lieutenant, sir.
What was the answer that he gave you?
He said he'll arrest me if I step on the street. He'll arrest me if I stand there. So I can't stand there and get photos and video, or he'll arrest me. So is that the correct answer?
He gave you that answer, then that's what it is.
So that's correct. And if I stand there, I will be arrested for what's the crime? What's the statute?
I think we can rightfully assume that he did not do any research before he came to New Iberia.
Can you guys tell me what the statute is? What is it again? Blocking. I'm not blocking a public easement. Anybody can walk past me. I'm not spread out on there. I'm not blocking that. So if I stand there, it's blocking. If I stop and tie my shoes, am I blocking the city? Okay. Am I being detained, sir?
Yeah.
Am I being detained, sir?
So did you speak with them inside the bank?
Am I being detained,
Do you
sir?
have your ID?
Have I broken the law?
We're here on a complaint that was called
Sir,
in.
I haven't violated law and I don't carry an ID
We're
on me.
here. Why not? It's state law.
To carry an ID?
Yes, it's state law.
I'm not driving.
It doesn't matter. You can't drive with an identification card. You drive with a tax card.
I'm not driving.
But you're supposed to have ID on you at all times.
And
That's
all
state
right,
law.
all right, cite me, arrest me. What do you got to do?
law.
Then arrest me or
any
cite me
ID.
for not having ID.
You don't have
I'm not
any
from
ID.
Louisiana, sir. I'm not from Louisiana.
Where are you from? So how are
I
we supposed to identify who you are?
you're not, because I'm not breaking the law.
We got caught here on a complaint.
It doesn't matter, sir.
It
I'm
does
not.
matter.
So if I called
We're
in,
here on a formal
if I
complaint.
called
Call it
if I called the police.
So he keeps repeating he hasn't committed a crime, but what he is failing to take into account is Louisiana has stop and ID laws. So if the police have reasonable suspicion that a crime has been committed or you are planning a crime, they can ask for identification legally. Now, his behavior, his manner, the fact he is filming a armored car in a bank, and the fact he's refusing to cooperate creates reasonable suspicion. They have every right to ask for his ID, and he is legally required to give it, or he will be arrested for obstruction. It's very simple. This is not complicated stuff. You act like an asshole, you get treated like an asshole. These police are being incredibly patient with him because they know what he's up to. They know what he's doing. He's not fooling anybody. He is just making himself look like a bigger fucking idiot. That's all there is to it.
The police and said, these guys are taking photos of me and file a complaint. You have to get their IDs?
Oh, yeah. Yes, we are.
Oh, that's silly.
We are.
That's silly.
It's not silly. It's not silly.
So what is the citation, or
I'm
is it?
asking, do you have any form of identification on you?
I do not carry ID on me, sir.
Okay, again, the question was, do you have any form of identification on you?
My phone. Again, I have no weapons on me. Nothing I'm aware of. No, I have no business cards. No nothing. So you want to cite me?
Where are you from?
Sir, I don't feel it's necessary to give you my identification when I haven't broken the law.
Where are you from?
I haven't broken the law,
Listen,
sir.
listen to me. We're here on a formal complaint.
Sir, this is.
Listen, I want you to listen to me.
Yes, sir.
I'm saying, we're here on a formal complaint. Therefore, we're trying to identify you. Okay? You're telling me you have no ID card on you. You have a driver's license on you. You have a passport on you. Something with a picture and an identification and a name on it. You have any of that?
I do not carry ID, sir.
So you have So you have nothing to identify you by you that you carry on you. I'm not.
Why would I have to identify myself? I'm not
because
breaking the law
right now
today.
we're asking you to
This
identify.
business contacted us, correct?
Yeah, but if they contacted you and said
listen.
there's a Jew outside, and therefore
Listen, it's a
okay.
private business. They have the right to refuse service to
I'm
anybody.
not seeking service from them.
Okay, but they don't want you on the property.
I wasn't on their property.
So we have to document
I
that.
never stepped foot on their
Listen.
property.
In order for us to document that properly, we require certain information. Some of that information being your identification, your date of birth.
So if somebody's walking down the sidewalk, we're in a public easement, and this bank just says, "Oh, look at that. We don't like what that man's doing,
Listen,
chewing
by
gum."
your
And
own admission, that wasn't what we were doing.
that's exactly what I was doing. I was walking down here taking pictures and video. That's what I was doing. I mean, it's a simple, sir. I'm a journalist. I do this for a living. I've been all over the country.
Do you have any credentials on your shirt?
What credentials? What do those credentials look like, sir? I don't think you'd know what they look like if I did have
You're
credentials.
not from here. You tell me.
Wow, this guy is such a douchebag. He is so intent on sticking with his narrative that he is completely ignoring the fact this lieutenant is doing everything to try and just resolve the situation. He knows what this guy is doing. He knows it's absolutely pointless to take him to jail. So he's just trying to ID him, which he has the legal right to do. And this guy is throwing a giant hissy fit. I do find it funny that the octaves of his voice just get higher and higher the longer they talk to him.
There are no official press credentials that one gets nationwide.
Do you have an identification card, a driver's license, or a passport? You had to get here somehow.
I have to have a driver's license or passport. Sir, I don't answer questions. I'm sorry. Can I have your supervisor? If you're going to violate my rights and demand that I forfeit my Fourth Amendment right,
Yeah, he's looking. He wants a reaction.
I have every right to do what I'm doing, sir. I'm not.
I'm asking.
I just want to be on my way, sir. I want to be on my
The
way.
laws vary state to state.
Okay.
And then even furthermore than that, there's parish ordinances, city ordinance.
Okay.
Be mindful of what you're doing, where you're going.
Does the Fourth Amendment-
Familiarize yourself with all of those things because, like I said, each place is different.
I'm aware of that, but I know the First and Fourth Amendments apply in Louisiana and in New Iberia Parish. I know they do. Or then the New Iberia City. I know the law applies here. Sir, let me ask you this.
Yeah, he's just being an argumentative child at this point. They have reasonable suspicion. They have every legal right to ask him to identify himself. This is ridiculous. They obviously know what he's about. The cop even said it. He's looking to get a reaction. So they're trying to keep from giving him one. But it's just making him look stupider. Every second, he is making himself look worse.
Let me ask you this. If I don't give you my name, are you going to arrest me? I'm not asking. I'm saying for not identifying myself.
Correct.
For what crime did I commit?
14.
You're not identifying
Failure to
yourself.
identify.
And failure to, wait. But in order to get an identification, doesn't the person have to be suspected of committing a crime?
We're here investigating a form.
I haven't committed a crime. What crime do you suspect me of committing?
We're here investigating a formal complaint.
So what crime so you're going to arrest me if I don't tell you my name and address. Is that what you're telling me?
What's your name?
Are you telling me so that's a straightforward question. Lieutenant, are you going to arrest me or give me a
Like I said,
citation?
you can be.
I can be. I'm asking you if you would arrest me or cite me. You guarantee my vehicle's on private property. All right. And you'll arrest me if I don't give you my information. Sir, if you're telling me is it optional or are you demanding my name?
It's not
That's okay. There you go. My name is Mike Norton. So under threat of arrest, I'm telling you my name,
like what?
Norton, Norton. I will be filing a complaint against your department, sir.
What's your birthday?
6/29/68,
Where are you from?
Colorado.
I feel like the use of the word Karen in this situation is appropriate because he definitely fits the description. You know, I really don't think the New Iberia Police Department gives a shit if you complain about them. In fact, I was in New Iberia not that long ago, and it's still standing. It has not burned to the ground from the strength of your complaint. So, it sucks to be you.
You drove here?
I don't answer that question, sir. How I got here is none of your business. It's none of your business.
Okay, well, hang tight. I'm going to run you.
Unbelievable. There's more crime here than in New York and Chicago, and this is what you guys spend your time doing. Yes, there is. Trust me, I looked it up. New York and Chicago have a lower crime index than New Iberia, Louisiana. New Iberia is 39, New York's 38, Chicago's 37. And I suspect the bad cops in New Iberia outnumber the bad cops in New York 5-1.
If we have so much crime.
Yeah, I don't go out looking for criminals. It's my job to get information on this particular bank.
Your job is to get law enforcement to react in a way that benefits you so you can cause a lawsuit and create
Well, between you and me, officer, I think you guys have already done that.
Absolutely.
Violated my rights, absolutely. I'm not suspected of a crime here, but I'm being forced to forfeit my Fourth Amendment rights.
Were you walking or standing? Were you walking or standing? You were standing, which violates city ordinance.
No, I wasn't blocking the thing. It's not against the law to stand there. It's against the law to block it. I wasn't blocking it.
You were blocking.
Anybody could have walked past me.
No, sir, they could not.
Yes,
You would have
they
to give them private
could.
property to
Yes,
go
they
around.
could. No, it's what is it? A 6 or 10 foot
Does not matter.
leeway
It
there.
says-
It does matter.
So, because of drainage requirements here in Louisiana, the right of way for pedestrians in a situation like this is actually only 5 feet.
It does
Not
matter.
stop or stand.
Yeah, I was warned about New Iberia. This is why I came here.
Yeah, just to try and
Just catch your point. Yes.
Yep.
Literally.
Yep. Bad cops. You guys have a reputation that precedes yourselves.
Yeah.
Yep. You sure do.
Just
Can I get your name, officer? Officer
Sergeant Sloan.
Sergeant Sloan.
Sloan. SOHM.
Thank you, sir. You guys have badge numbers here?
Nope. You've done so much research, you would know that.
Yeah. If you did enough research, you'd know the Constitution, my friend.
I do know the Constitution.
Yeah, sure you do. Sure you do. Yeah.
If I didn't, I would have violated it already.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you did. You have.
Absolutely
You and your
not.
lieutenant. Sure.
Absolutely not.
Again, let me emphasize, because I think you guys are bad cops, I have no weapons on me. So don't get paranoid because my hands are in my pockets.
I don't care if you have weapons or not.
Yeah.
I knew we was gonna get one sooner. They have no life. It's funny is that's no weapons all the way. He's his hand completely.
He added a transition there. They definitely said something he did not want anybody else to hear. That's funny. I wonder what it was.
Yeah, oh, I have no doubt that what I'm holding makes you look very bad. You guys are terrified of cameras because it makes you look so bad. Oh, okay.
I wear a camera.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I know. I have no doubt that you violate people's rights on a regular basis.
If that was the case, I'd be in federal prison.
You might be heading there, my friend. Not for this, but I have a feeling that's in your future.
Nah.
Violate people's rights left and right.
Nah.
Man, taking pictures of the
If that
bank.
was-
Let's
if
go
that was-
force him to identify himself.
If that was the case, I wouldn't have been doing this so long.
Uh-huh. What do you guys typically do? Make arrests or give citations when somebody's passing through your state and they don't have ID and they're not driving a car? You arrest them for not having identification?
So, side note, he's lying, and the reason I know he's lying is because in his description box, it specifically says that they made a detour and took a trip to New Orleans. Now, I'm sure they went to New Orleans for fun. They, I'm sure, went to the French Quarter. And there are places in the quarter that you absolutely cannot get in no matter how old you look. And granted, this man looks ancient. But no matter how old you look, they still require your ID to enter the building. I can promise you he didn't complain about his Fourth Amendment being violated when he was being ID'd to go into any of those facilities. You also have to have an ID to check into a hotel room. So they are from Colorado, they are in Louisiana. Obviously, he has an ID. He is just a lying piece of shit. Go figure.
An identification? That's crazy. All right. Guess that explains why crime is so high here, huh? You guys are out arresting people left and right for not carrying ID on them. Walking down the sidewalk, hey, you got ID? Nope, you're going to jail. That would explain the high crime rate in New Iberia.
But you did your research.
Well, I
You
did.
would
I
know
mean,
that not to be the case.
your crime rate is higher than New York and Chicago. It's a
Can't
statistical
be that
fact.
high. You wouldn't have came.
It's a statistical fact. No, we specifically come to cities that have high crime rates to find out what in the hell the police are doing there.
Should be
Now I know. Now we
Deal
know.
with you instead of
Right,
being able to
you're
do our
diverting
job.
our attention from something more important.
Yeah, I am. Not the people in the bank that called the police for a man out on public property with a camera. Yeah, it's me. I'm the guilty party.
Somebody who doesn't know the last thing about identification but knows his constitution.
I travel a lot. Just because I didn't tell you doesn't mean I don't know it. I just travel a lot.
With the whole purpose of getting law enforcement to do you something so you can file a lawsuit. That is your whole life.
Is it? How many lawsuits do you think I filed there, Chief?
Ain't no telling.
Yeah. I'll definitely be pulling your record and see how many complaints you've got.
Pull whatever the hell you want, Jack.
Oh, I will. It's Mike, by the way, not Jack. Mike.
Call me by my name as well.
Yeah.
Okay? Good. Glad we have that understanding.
I guess I ought to, or you'll arrest me. I'll call you sport. Oh, that's an arrestable offense.
Yes, dude.
It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. What in the world do they think I can see out here on a public sidewalk, on a public right-of-way? What can I possibly see in here? It's ridiculous. You know, Mike.
No, what's ridiculous is you're still whining about this when you admitted on camera when you saw the armored car that normally armored cars don't like to be filmed. You did it on purpose, and now you're bitching about it. Just shut the fuck up.
You know, my experience 95% of the time when somebody calls the police on somebody like me for doing what I'm doing, they lie or grossly exaggerate. I can't tell you.
Go back on the public easement, sir.
Am I even detained still, or can I leave?
I don't know if I wasn't clear enough what I just said.
You said go back on the public easement. I don't know if you want me to leave. If I can I leave, officer?
Yes, you're free to go.
There you go. Yeah. It was. Yeah. Eat my shorts. Fuck off. You guys have the day you deserve. Do you deserve a bad day?
I love, love, love how the officers treated him accordingly. They knew what he was up to. They remained calm. They did not give him the reaction that he was looking for. That was absolutely amazing. I do find it funny, so I'm going to include this little clip. He added some bonus footage to the video of him in New Orleans, and he's doing the same shit at a Hancock Whitney bank inside the French Quarter. But before the interaction is over, he transitions out. So I am assuming that they didn't put up with his bullshit, but he didn't want to scratch the footage, so he used what he could. Because it's a weird place to add a transition when the interaction isn't even done.
I came into this world with one purpose and one purpose only. Luckily, I forgot what that purpose is, so I pretty much just do whatever the hell I want within the confines of the law. The law does not prohibit me from taking pictures that direction. It just doesn't. So, unfortunately, you've been trained poorly, and I'm sorry for that. I'm not surprised. Allied Universal, but...
So what's your reason of taking pictures inside the bank? You could be scoping it out for anything.
Yes, I could. Yes, I could.
Yeah, you could be scoping it out.
You know, that's not a crime.
Yeah,
It's not a crime.
But you could be scoping it out.
I could be.
Yeah.
But
you
it's not.
Pictures, taking pictures directly inside the bank.
Like this, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you could be scoping them out.
Yeah. Not against the law.
Come on, man.
It's not a crime, dude. Not a crime.
Why are you doing that? It's crazy, man.
It is crazy. It is crazy. It's also not against the law.
So he ends it right there, very abruptly. Kind of makes me wonder what happened, because then it transitions into him being on a completely different street. Something happened. Why cut it that quick? But I really want to see him try this at the entrance to one of the strip clubs. I want to see him tell the bouncers, oh, I can film in there. You can't tell me what direction I film. And see how fast his face hits the pavement. Because it would be pretty damn quick. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will catch you on the next one.